Hello, soul warriors, those that can hear the call that are rising through this ascension, game changers, soul warriors. I'm doing a message today for twin souls because God has recently shifted the timeline. He removed all ability to clear karma. He brought us into the final portal, which is that of the Nile. And a lot of twin souls did not unite internally through clearing all shadow and karma. And so there was also mishaps with my twin soul and I, even to this recent times, through the entire Return of Christ journey. So I'm going to talk about that. My name is Juniper Blue Mystique. I am an ascension master, a master healer, and a divine guide. For the last 5 years, I have been bringing through, unbeknownst to me, the entire Return of Christ. You're going to find the entire path of that and what that means on this channel. So I encourage you to check out the Ascension playlist, to check out the videos and watch them very carefully, because you guys, we don't have time to waste. This is the end. We are in the end of ways, the end of ways outside of God. So if you don't have unconditional love as your lens, you won't make it either way. So I want to ensure that you understand that, like, make sure that you don't allow things to stop you from hearing through the heart, right? So because in the Return of Christ, God has shortened the timeline, there is no longer a 7-year tribulation period. I wanted to know about the twin flames. I want to know what's going to happen with me and my DM, and I want to know what's going to happen with other twin flames. Now, there are 3 different levels of twin flames, okay? And I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to also talk about some specifics of some twin flames, because I've noticed some things on YouTube, some people following twin flames that are not actually twin flames. So really quick, I'm going to give you a message that God gave me yesterday for my live on Facebook. Okay. If you've been watching my videos, we went into the portal of the Nile recently. He gave you a message to why he shortened the timeline. There's been not a lot of love given or want to rise, especially to who he sent and what the return was and things like that. So because of that, he's ordered a great reset. Okay. But this is what he said yesterday. Listen to this very quickly, and then I'm going to talk about the twin flames. Time to clear karma has been taken away. Radical acceptance is now. Which I actually did a Hertz music release today that helps with radical acceptance and fear removal. So time to clear karma has been taken away. God was actually holding space for everybody to clear their karma before the full entire return path hit, which is a karmic play out. It's all about karma, okay? You reap what you sow. So if you have any karma left to heal, only the ones that are done healing, that basically will stay. So radical acceptance is now. Changes upon changes, uncomfortably so. You shall reap what you sow. The lack of love has been loudly shown. It is up to you on your own. The time to rise is now. Tomorrow may not come. Rule of thumb, unless you could see everything, you were nowhere near done. The time has now come. And what does that mean? Unless you could see everything, unless you understand it all, unless you're fully awakened, which many are still not, unless you've cleared all your karma and all your shadow, because you can't have karma to get into the new earth. You cannot. Karma is everything you've done outside of unconditional love, outside of true God. Karma is all the shackles you hold on to that bind you to the matrix. Okay, so you can't have any of that. You cannot have a pinky toe in the matrix. Not at all, not at all. You have to be in pure sovereignty. You have to know how to co-create. Your heart needs to be pure. Your lens has to be unconditional love. So the rule of thumb is, unless you could see everything, you were nowhere near done. And if you can see everything that I did without judgments, without fear, and pure unconditional love, complete awakening to what I've done, from pyramid activations, clearing Mount Shasta, all of that, like, that's part of it. Because it's been done and it's in your heart space. It is the true return of Christ. It is also in the Akashic records. So I know people who are still channeling through the Akashic records and can't see it. I know people who can see 90% of it, but still had some healing to do, but they are probably more likely to be okay. So that's kind of what that means, okay? So you can watch that again. We are in the path of the Nile. That is the final portal. And if you don't have everything cleared, you won't make it. Okay. I've been saying for a long time, here's the path to righteousness. Here's what you have to do. And I had a lot of judgments and not love thrown my way. And that's sad because the hope was that there was so much love for what God did and what God sent. And I may not be a man, but it was a twin flame union journey. It was a journey of my twin flame and I clearing all darkness from the earth, from Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene to Sekhmet and Hours. Okay. So his and my journey is a part of it. I am a twin flame. I didn't know I was until my awakening. So I asked today about the twin flames because there was a lot of pull to keep my DM and I apart, and my original one did not make it. I got a walk-in right before the resurrection of Christ on Christmas Day because the original one took off with fallen and I wasn't able to clear the path. I wasn't able to finish the return of Christ. And so I agreed to stop being attacked. First of all, I won my soul back, and then I agreed to let God do what he needed to do. And he had a plan. He got me a walk-in. And since I had a walk-in, there were people who got into the new earth and decided to let the shadow come in. And there was a major attempt recently to, again, rip my DM and I apart. And my strength once more, the choice of love, the choosing of love, unconditional, allowed us to remain. And all of those that rose with me were removed out of the new earth because you cannot bring the shadow with you. You cannot bring karma with you. You cannot bring anything outside of unconditional love because it doesn't match the light of God. Okay. Now, during the return of Christ work, when I did a healing on Israel, right after the whole resurrection occurred and things and undoing the Holy Grail, I was called to put a healing over Israel. And the way I did that was it was supposed to be the 144,000 carrying God's light through love up into the dome for protection over the earth, and that did not occur. A lot of twin flames did not unite because, there was mishaps with the original DM and my new DM not taking on that plight. So, there was some of that, but Malachi carried the energy. I carried the energy, which is why I swelled. And so twin flames could have still united. They had to do it, however, through clearing their karma and shadow and choosing unconditional love the whole way to union on the inside, not outward. They have to align evenly. Okay. So in protecting of Israel, I had to use the trees. You can watch that video. It was like the heartbeat of the earth. I had to take Christ's light and threw it through all the trees and up into the dome. So the trees, you can actually see them in the Schumann resonance lately. I've noticed that there's this one channel on Facebook that shows the Schumann resonance, and she's like, look at the trees. And there's like this energy outline of trees that have been showing in the Schumann resonance. And it's unfortunate, but it's still quite beautiful because I'm like, look, I did that. And only those with pure hearts are going to see this and rise anyways. So, I'm not here to argue with you that it didn't happen. It did. And the proof is on this channel. But it was so cool. I used the trees instead of the 144,000 because I was actually attacked by some twin flames on this journey. And then, like I said, some let the shadow in, and intentionally or not, tried to keep my DM and I apart. Because our union is the return of Christ. It's already happened soul level. He and I already united on the soul level, but there's been a battle on the physical. Okay, so he does exist. We are connected, but just because it didn't happen the way you think the return of Christ should have happened doesn't make it not real. Okay, the 144,000 were twin flames. Twin flames come from Adam and Eve time. All right. They are direct descendants of Adam and Eve. So I don't care what the history books tell you. They are connected to, you can call them direct descendants. It's not like we gave birth to them, but they carry our light. They carry my light and my DM's light. So they are warriors of Christ, basically. We're only called warriors because of the battle that ensued after Adam and Eve. Okay. But there's different levels of them. You have those that are directly closer connected to Adam and Eve, and then you have the next level down, and then the next level down. those that are the highest tier of twin souls, not my DM and I, but the ones that come directly after us, have more to clear to unite, because we are higher frequency beings. That's why we're sitting here at this time. A lot of us, we don't usually unite in a very low frequency realm because we are such high frequency beings. Okay. So our mission was to clear all of that darkness, all of our karma, all of our shadow, to unite through love, unconditional, and shine the light into the dome as part of the return of Christ. And that did not happen. Just like God said, the lack of love has been loudly shown, right? Everybody's choosing to judge, everybody's choosing fear, everybody's choosing all of these other things, not wanting to allow Christ to return, because why? They like suffering. It's because they just don't want to grow. When either way, they were going to perish. Like, the world as it was could not have stayed the same, because they were trying to take all of you away from what you were. Okay. So either way, it was going to be a reset of a kind, right? A demolishment of the undoing of God. But I survived this time. They didn't expect me to. I remember God telling me that he knew I had the strength, but the plan was actually there that I wouldn't make it all the way through. But I did. No matter what, I made it. I chose love the whole way. I fought against the shadow. No matter what, I didn't let the shadow stop me. And I did it, and I did it, and I did it, and I did it. And I'm so very proud. But since I got my new DM, there was a lot of attacks against us. And I don't even know if he knows that. There was a lot of shadow trying to keep us apart. So God would say, okay, rise. And I was so tired because I had fought such a battle before I got my walk-in. My walk-in was supposed to redeem it, right? But he let fear stop him. And the moment you hesitate to God, the moment you hesitate, the second you hesitate, when God says you to move in this kind of world right now, this kind of battle, you let in a shadow. And I was so tired. And so it was really hard. I kept trying to get my strength back, and the shadow kept getting me a bit. And I feel bad because I feel like I hurt my DM, and it's heart crushing. Like, I really never meant to hurt him at all. And I was so very sad, because when I feel him, when I feel his love, his heartbeat, when I hear his words and his songs, I'm the happiest person in the world. And when that's taken away, I'm extremely sad, like, extremely sad. And then those that rose with me decided to pick up that shadow. And, you know, the way the shadow works is it's one little word, one little energy that's outside of unconditional love, and it takes that away. Okay. It makes the DM think things that aren't real. It blinds them. It keeps them out of balance. And anytime we would go to rise, it would attack us. And this last time, it almost ripped us apart. And I fought hard. Like, God said one thing, and I'm like, oh, what is happening? And I reached in and I grabbed our souls, and I just fought really hard again. So not once, not twice, but 3 times now, I have fought the shadow to unite with my DM. And I fought hard, and I'm not letting that go. And now that the darkness has been removed from the new earth, I don't have that anymore. I don't feel those anymore. So I'm so happy. So the new earth is pure of all shadow. You can't have shadow and karma. You have to have a lens of unconditional love. Okay, I hope I've explained this good enough. So some twin flames did unite, but a lot of the ones that were closer to my DM and I did not unite internally. So the way twin flames unite, the formula to it, is they will meet on the external, and they will usually pop each other's heart open, like cause a lot of things to surface for healing and separate. And during that separation period, they're supposed to heal all of those wounds. And if they do that, and they choose complete self-love and growth and joy, and to not let anything other than unconditional love be present in their energy, to be at their best self, they will come back together, okay? Through free will, of course. But you have to be in balance from the heart center. You have to be the higher frequency being that you are. You have to live in a higher frequency world, no matter what world we were living in. So your best self, right? Not focused on the other, focused on love and joy and growth and development, and removing everything that's not love. That's how you unite. You can't force a union in the physical and expect that you're united in the energy. That's not the case. If you don't unite equally through healing, you're not united, even if you're at a physical space, okay? So I asked God, because now he's taken away the chance to clear karma, and twin flames were not used to provide the protection in the dome. It was the trees. And the Schumann resonance even reflected that. I was like, that's amazing to see my work playing out. I love it. From activating pyramids to shifting the poles to freeing Jesus's soul, undoing the Holy Grail. You're watching all of that unfold. Every portal or the pyramids that I activated. I cleared the crystalline grid. The portal of the Nile, I called back my lifetime of Sekhmet. And I cleared the crystal in the core of the earth from darkness to light. And I crushed it and shot it across as a karmic play out. And so that's what y'all are. It's all playing out in your reality, okay? And now we are in the path of the Nile turning to blood red. What does that represent? Everything that's going to be purged off this planet. Because those of us that are rising, stay here. Those that are falling, leave. Okay? You cannot have any karma because it doesn't match Christ's light. It doesn't match the light of God, which is unconditional love. You cannot bring darkness into light anymore, and you cannot use darkness against the light. Okay, you can't. And that's what happens, is completely letting the shadow in, throwing judgments, throwing negative my way towards God, towards the light, fear, wounds, all of these things. You have to be a very high vibration, and you have to be in balance from the heart space. You cannot have the matrix with you at all. You cannot be governed by the matrix. And that's the only space to be, to unite and make it through. Okay. So I asked God what's going to happen to the twin souls. And this is what he said. and even me and my DM. Because I don't think my DM understands my side of it all the way. And I don't understand his all the way. I can only know that I don't feel him so much anymore. And that makes me very sad. But there was, like I said, a major attack that got in on the inside. And I didn't know that, because I would have never thought that those that rose with me would have chosen, once they got into the new earth, to give their power away to the darkness again. And they did. So let's listen. Those that did not heal inward to alignment through unconditional love and full elimination of their shadow can't stay. So that's what I'm telling you. In order to unite as a twin flame, you have to unite inward, not in the physical. It has to be inward, because you're two souls that are the same. It's the masculine side and the feminine side. So there is actually this couple on YouTube that I noticed, and they're two females. And I'm like, something's wrong there. And you cannot have two females. You cannot have two masculines. We're not judging that. We're in a broken world. How can you be whole in a broken world? You can't be. It's just because it has to be a masculine and a feminine. That's God. You have to be masculine and feminine. That's the Ankh. The Ankh represents the masculine and the feminine coming together. And there was a big mishap with the masculine side, and an attacks on the feminine. And so because the masculine did not fully rise, there was some of that energy still present. Bigger time, right? They could have cleared it on their own. And this particular couple, it's two females. One of them specifically said that she had a false twin flame come forward first. And I was thinking, no, you did not. The one you're in is the false union. So it has to be a masculine and a feminine. I don't care who you are. One side, if it's a masculine, he can carry more feminine traits, and the feminine can carry more masculine, but it has to be a masculine and feminine twin soul, or they're not real. You're following a shadow couple. Okay, so understand that. There are false prophets, there are false beings of light that aren't of light at all. There was a big, huge shadow in the spiritual realm, quite a few of them. So you need to be very careful who you're following, because God, Christ, Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and Sekhmet and Horus, you have to be masculine and feminine. I have the feminine soul of my half, and my DM has the masculine. Okay, and I am more feminine and he is more masculine on my side. But you have to be one, it's masculine or feminine. You can't be two feminines, you're missing the masculine. You can't be two males, you're missing the feminine. That's not God. Okay, it's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. All right. So those that did not heal inward in alignment through unconditional love and full elimination of their shadow can't stay. That means they're both awake. They're both aware of what's happening, right? Because unless you can see everything, you were nowhere near done healing. So both couples have to see equally. They have to be awakened equally. They have to be present equally in the heart space and balance. And partaking in the return of Christ stuff, right? Like they can see it. They're aligning, they're aware, and they're equals. So if one is more awake than the other, they're not united on the inside. Both will either rise equally to fully healed and united inward only to the outside and inside to rise together through this last gate, or both will exit depending upon where their karma lies. We are in a karmic play out now. God is not holding space anymore for you to clear your karma. Since the trees had to be used, less than half have a chance to even make it. But it has to be fast union like never before, like union on steroids. Digging deep within to release all that keeps them apart energetically and physically. You can't hide things from your DM, like, as far as an awakening, like you both have to be equally awake and equally aware, equally present and equally in balance from the heart space and not in the matrix, not governed by any part of the matrix. Okay. Not governed by any part of the matrix, not fear, not money, not ego, judgment, shame, selfishness, those kinds of things. Okay. So since the trees had to be used, less than half even have a chance. But it has to be a fast union like never before. Digging deep within to release all that keeps them apart, energetically and physically. Both have to be fully healed of all karma and shadow wounds, seeing clearly to rise. If healed enough. Okay. Some may not stay twin souls at all, because I asked God, so what happens then if they don't make it through the ascension, because they're going to be at different parts, right? I mean, you do mirror your twin soul, but they may have more wounds than you at this time, and it heals within you. So you have to heal inward to even heal your partner. Okay, that's the way they work. So if I need to unite, I'm going to heal inward, and I'm going to make sure I'm aligned, and I'm going to make sure I'm doing everything, but my twin soul must be doing the same. And generally they will, but some have free will not to. Okay, so some may not stay twin souls. It is a great reset of mankind. That is sacred ground. So to be a twin soul is a gift. It's sacred union. It's very divine presence. You are directly closer related to God, because mankind is not a direct descendant from God. They were created by the gods of time. Okay. Prometheus stepped in and talked about that during the return of Christ. They all carry my light, the light of the sun and the light of the moon, eye of Horus and the eye of Ra. Okay. So they're all very highly connected to that of God. So it is sacred ground. It is not something you want the shadow to be a part of. And if they weren't ready to do that, if they weren't ready to unite the right way, then they're not ready anymore to be twin souls. Okay. So some may not even remain twin souls anymore at all because of what happened. I'm going to also pull some cards. So hang on. I also asked about my DM and I, because I don't know. The journey has been crazy. And here it is, my birthday soon. And he's not even with me now. And I barely feel his love. And I'm like, what is happening? So what I have is a plan of action is taking place due to external forces. Okay. So a lot of shadow got in, even with my new DM and I, and even from the inside, those closest to my light, whether they know it or not. I'm going to read this, some intentionally. Okay. They actually said they were intentional forces, really wreaking havoc on our union. And it's really sucky. And I've been doing the best I can, but I am tired. Okay. I brought the entire return of Christ pretty much by myself. So if you think that didn't take everything I had physically, mentally, spiritually, you're wrong. That's why God called me mahogany. They tore apart my arm. There was so much attack on me. Every chakra was bursted and torn apart, especially my solar plexus a few times. Fallen angel attacks are no joke. You want to talk about exorcisms. Some of the healings I had were like that. It was crazy. So for my DM and I love him. I never wanted to hurt him. I'm so upset that that happened. But I wasn't quite strong enough this time around. Like I had battled and battled and battled a very strong fallen angel energy. And so my DM, I was hoping he would take some of that on and still unite. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And I don't blame him. I take responsibility for my side. I'm so heartbroken. I never wanted to hurt him. Like I love him so much, so much, so much. Sorry. I love him so much. Okay. I do. I fought hard and I chose to stay united with him, and I will fight hard for him. But a plan of action is taking place due to external forces intentionally keeping you apart from the inside. We are both safe and will soon unite. Okay. So for twin flames in general, if any of them can hear this video and want to unite, that you're going to have to fight really hard because you are in the final portal. You are going to have to envision exactly what you want. You're both awakening, right? Equally. You're both aligning equally. You're going internal to heal you in every way, everything, every way, immediately. Like you don't have time. Tomorrow is not promised. Okay. So let's see what the cards say. You need to look at everything. Oh, I love this. Okay. You need to look at everything as new beginnings. Do not hold on to the past at all. You need to let it go. You need to be like completely, you need to want unconditional love and union more than anything, and not let anything stop you. Envision it, be it, feel it, be it, heal it, go within and heal it. Do not bring the past forward. Do not think too far ahead. Only think in this moment in time. You need to be your best self, your absolute best self, full power, full joy, heart-centered, balanced. And this is really cool. We have Wailing Tree, reconciliations. I love this. So new beginnings, reconciliations. You have to release and burn everything that is not love immediately. And I do mean immediately. And talk to God, pray to God. Follow that inner guidance immediately. The moment you hesitate and let any negative thoughts, feelings, or anything in, you will not unite. Okay. Like you don't have time to make a mistake. You do not. Okay. You need to choose love. You need to choose the understanding that we are all connected. Everything you do affects the other person. Everything you do affects the other person. So if you let the shadow in and you are not in balance from your heart space, they cannot see clearly. Okay. They will not be able to see, they will not be able to heal, and they have to be right there doing it with you. So you need to imagine the most beautiful union, the most beautiful love, and pray like never before, right? Like really, truly envision it, want it, be it, and activate it within you. Like there is no time. Okay. Romance, Cupid's arrow strikes, right? So we have romance there. Time, you are trying too hard. Okay. So we don't have time. You need to look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is deep as the ocean. Now, this one's interesting because during the return of Christ, God said, I battled the deep blue sea in uniting with my DM, and that is biblical. The first parts of the clearing was like the red dragon, supposedly, which was Mount Shasta and the fallen angel. And then the second part was the twin flame union, which was the deep blue sea. Okay. And you can see his eye is deep blue, right? And it's the masculine and feminine. That's what the Merkabah is. It's masculine and feminine. They stole what was God to use it against you. That's why the cross broke. Okay. They had stolen the soul of Jesus, and Adam and Horus, the moon. So understand the truth. Okay. You don't have time. Let romance and love be your guide. You need to go deep within your heart and release everything that is not of love until you can feel union. You should feel union from the inside first. Once you do that, just be open, and it should happen in the physical very fast. Okay. My beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually, we are always united. For love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. So you need to have that thoughts, right? You need to embody the union. You need to embody the union. I love this one. Wailing Tree, reconciliations. So this is reconciling any energy that is not unconditional love. And I do mean an extreme fast union. You need to clear all karma from you, which in turn, as long as you're doing that, you're staying heart-centered, you're not focused on the other person, they're doing the same. Okay? And just envision uniting and making it through. If you can't hold that and not let anything stop you, be heart-centered and balanced right now, completely stepping outside of the matrix, your partner can't do that too, and you won't make it. And if you're in a false union and following false twin flames, that's not going to help you. Okay? This is something you're going to have to do, and you're going to have to fight hard. You're going to really have to want that love and that union. Or as twin souls, you may not even remain twin souls after this portal ends. So, yeah, this is sacred ground. This is something you don't want to take lightly. You were meant to clear all of this to help others and to help carry that Christ light into the dome. But everybody kept playing around and choosing wounds, choosing selfishness, choosing fear, choosing karmic relationships and patterning. And so you cannot be involved in anybody else's relationship. You cannot be with anybody else. You need to be inward, heart-centered, balanced, not in the matrix at all. And then your counterpartner needed time. So that's about all I can say. Okay. A lot of twin flames, not even half have the opportunity to make it, really. Let's see what it says. Some may not stay twin souls, and since the trees had to be used, less than half have a chance. But it has to be fast union like never before. Balance from the heart center, let the matrix go, choose only love no matter, and that shadow is going to fight you. You better believe it will. It's going to get in your head. It's going to make you think things outside of unconditional love. It's going to tempt you into selfish behavior. Is money more important? Is judgments more important? All of those things. You cannot choose one single shackle. This is the same for everybody, though. If you can't let go of every bit of the matrix, see through unconditional love only, and have all your karma cleared right now, and I'm not talking about cutting cords to karma. You can't do that. You have to draw it out to heal it. You can't bypass your karma. You can't cut your ties to your karma. You can't cut your ties to those your karma is tied to. You have to rise above it, choosing unconditional love only. And so it has to be in your energy. So there was a lot that this is a great reset for a reason. Okay, my friends? To my DM, just know that I love you more than anything in the world, and I choose you. And I would give anything to feel your love again. So much love to all of you. Be safe, be diligent, don't be fear. Fear is not of God. Till next time.